An offer he can't refuse. How Netanyahu reached Trump.
While Donald Trump was widely publicized during the war with Iran, Israel, on the other hand, remained relatively opaque. Many important questions about its moves can only be answered by looking more carefully into its recent past. But above all, one question remains: how did Benjamin Netanyahu convince Trump to wage a war that was not naturally necessary for him?
When you can persuade the leader of the most powerful country in the world to fight a war aligned with your own strategic priorities, it is an impressive feat.
And the fact that the leader is Trump makes it even more remarkable, given his reputation for unpredictability. To pull this off, Netanyahu must have understood two things very well: how Trump views the world and how American politics works. For Trump, one recurring tendency is to engage through confrontation, to project force, define an opponent clearly, and pursue victory once the conflict is framed in personal terms.
The clearer the enemy, the stronger the urge to win. Iran, and especially Ali Khamenei, could be presented as a clear villain, fitting a narrative that resonates both with Trump and with much of the American political imagination.
Netanyahu likely understood this well and may have deliberately framed his appeal around three themes that speak directly to Trump's political instincts: American strength, presidential legacy, and decisive leadership. Among them, American strength is perhaps the most powerful.
The image of the United States still acting as the dominant force, the country with the greatest power and the final word in world affairs. That kind of projection aligns closely with Trump's desire to show that America remains unmistakably in command.
At the same time, the question of presidential legacy carries its own appeal.
A confrontation that delivers a visible result offers Trump the opportunity to present himself as having achieved what predecessors such as Barack Obama could not, reinforcing the contrast he often seeks with earlier administrations.
Equally important is the appeal of decisive leadership.
Trump places high value on being seen as the one who makes the final call, the leader whose decision determines outcomes and whose authority is recognized, both at home and abroad.
In that sense, action itself becomes part of the message that major political outcomes happen because he chooses them. Beyond the White House, Netanyahu also understands that power in America does not stop with the president alone. Over the years, he has worked across multiple layers of American politics, building influence where opinion and policy are shaped before decisions reach the Oval Office.
In Congress, he has treated lawmakers as a parallel power center, knowing that strong support there gives Israel continuity across administrations.
Through think tanks, Israeli security concerns are often translated into strategic language familiar to Washington. In the media, threat narratives help create political space for harder action.
At the same time, Netanyahu has also understood the importance of the evangelical base, donor networks, and party factions, all of which help sustain long-term support for Israel across different parts of American politics.
For years, these overlapping channels have helped shape a broader narrative favorable to Israel's strategic concerns. With these appeals to Trump's worldview already in place, and with Trump's tendency to move quickly, act first and adjust later,
Netanyahu appears to have presented an offer he can't refuse, an opening strike framed as decisive, swift, and capable of eliminating Iranian leaders and senior command at the outset.
What stands out in Netanyahu's maneuver is the scale of the long preparation behind it. He has spent years building the political fire around Iran inside American discourse, preparing the ground until the right moment arrived.
And when that moment came, he did not hesitate to press forward, even without certainty about how the endgame would unfold. In that sense, Netanyahu shares something with Trump, confidence in the ability to read events and react in real time.
But war is never fully predictable. One possible miscalculation emerged immediately from the fact that many of the most senior Iranian figures were reportedly removed at the very beginning of the strike.
Without Khamenei and the top command, what remains is Iran as a nation, a country with long Persian history, cultural depth, and people who are harder to sustain as a simple enemy image in global perception.
Once the clearly defined villain weakens, political justification becomes more difficult.
Without that earlier image, Trump appears to find it harder to sustain the psychological case for prolonged war.
This may explain why ceasefire signals repeatedly emerge afterward. Once the central villain fades, continuing escalation becomes politically harder to frame.
Take time to deliberate, but when the time for action comes, stop thinking and go in.